Want to see exactly how a brand is created? Well, in this series, I'm taking you behind the scenes as I create a brand completely from scratch and show exactly how I do it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about branding social media. When you're creating a new brand completely from scratch and you don't have any kind of social media to start with and you're starting all from scratch, I really recommend that you start just focusing on one platform. You should set up all the other platforms, make sure you secure those handles and have a little bit of a presence there, probably just repurpose content from that primary platform that you decided to focus on, but really put all your energy and everything into one platform. And then as things grow and you have more resources on your hand, you can start to expand and put more effort into other platforms as well. Just as you're getting started, really build momentum and get a following going and really have somewhere to just pour all your energy to put the most effort into. Pick one platform where your people hang out, and that's really the key, is finding a place where your audience actually are. So don't pick a platform just because you like it, then it turns out your audience aren't actually hanging out there, because then you're going to really struggle to grow it. So pick a platform where you feel your audience are actually hanging out and something that too you do enjoy, that you think you can put a lot of effort into, but the primary thing is making sure that your audience are actually hanging out there. So for this brand, I've decided to put all the energy into Instagram. Now, if I focus on Instagram, I can repurpose some of that content to put on Facebook or Pinterest and other things like that. But my energy is all focusing on making sure I'm creating good content for Instagram and that I'm really going all out with branding my Instagram and making sure that that's where all my energy is going when it comes to social media. And now when it comes to branding Instagram, there's so many different facets to it. So you've got your profile picture, you've got your feed and making sure your feed looks on brand, and then you've got things like the music you choose, the tone of voice in your copy, all these different little elements, story highlights, what those little graphics look like. There's all these different facets and elements to how you can brand an Instagram. So we're going to have a look at how I go about that.
Alright, so let's have a look at branding my Instagram. So the first thing I did was working on a mood board. So this isn't a super curated, carefully selected mood board like the mood board I created for the actual branding. This is more just a mishmash of things to try and help inspire the direction, get me thinking, prompt some ideas, that sort of thing, and sort of giving an overall feel, something that's just a simple guide as I'm working on the graphics to think about what I'm trying to achieve. So we've got some imagery to show the kinds of imagery ideas, also some typography, some graphics, some backgrounds, some graphical layouts, showing ideas of playing with really fun, playful photography or flat lays and playing with shadows, just lots of different ideas. So it's sort of showing the kind of direction, the kind of things that I want to be doing. So it's basically just a mood board just to throw together all the ideas, the things that are going on in my head. So I've got some visual reference as I'm working on things. So the next thing I did was think about how my actual profile is going to look. So for my profile picture, I decided to use my sub logo. Now you can either use your sub logo, your logo, a picture of your product, or a picture of yourself. But think about, what's going to be eye-catching. Think about who your customer is and what's going to grab their attention. I liked how my sub logo is very simple and clean, and so it's not confusing when someone sees it, and when they see a logo like that too, they think, well, this is a brand, it's not a personal account. And so if they're in that mindset, if they're looking for brands, they're looking to shop, that sort of thing, it's going to grab attention. And it just looks cute with the pink, so it's going to attract someone that's after something quite feminine. So then for the bio, what I like to do is sort of give the brand promise in the bio. So what is someone going to get out of this? And so I put here, get that instant confidence boost by wearing something beautiful that brings you joy. So it sets the tone and gets people thinking, well, this is what I'm going to get from this brand. And then I mention what we actually sell, so handmade headbands and scrunchies. And then I decided to also add something that's exciting about it, so saying free shipping Australia-wide. And by saying that, it also shows that this is an Australian shop. We've also, with the website, .au. So I'm just trying to emphasize too that this is an Australian shop, because often when I'm looking at things, I'm trying to shop and I want to buy locally. I'm trying to look for things like that. I want to know what's the locations. So making the location of an online shop can make things easy for people, because they're not having to try and scramble around and try and figure out, well, where is this person actually located? Do they even ship to me? What currency is it going to be in? All those sort of things, making it really clear that this is an Australian shop and they're going to get free shipping too. Just makes it really clear and makes it easy for the right person to go, yes, this is for me. So then we've got our highlight covers. So we've kept these really on brand, used those brand illustrations that I created as well as patterns to keep it all on brand and make it really fun and playful too. So I've decided to include so far an about section, include sections for the products, make a section for customers. So once I get any customers sharing photos, that's where we can put all those. Any testimonials, anything like that can all go under that highlight. Then I've got the freebies section where I can share my free opt-in freebie. And then styling tips where I could share different ways that you can wear the products and just basically sharing different ideas around that to show people, how you could do your hair with it and different styling ideas. And then confidence boost is where I can put different quotes and maybe even like free wallpapers, things like that, with those sort of quotes and confidence boosting things. So that really aligns with the brand values there. So the idea with the content for my Instagram is I want to include things that are confidence boosting, so aligning with those values of the brand and, creating fun quotes and different things that basically are things that are going to boost someone's confidence, make them feel good, make them feel really positive and happy and uplift them. And then we're going to include images of the product itself and behind the scenes, how things are made, and just ways the product can be used as well. So lifestyle imagery, editorial type imagery, that sort of thing. As well as I said before, styling tips, so things like that as well. So the next section I've created here is some post examples. So the next section I've got here is example post graphics. So basically I've started to create some templates and show the kind of style of graphics that I want to be using. So this is where I'm really focusing on those confidence boosting graphics, things that are uplifting, but then also we might use some other things, like an example here with the calendar first drop launching on August 1st. So also these graphics would be used for promoting things and mentioning key dates, things like that, letting people know when certain things are launching or any events that are happening, stuff like that. But mostly it will be quote type graphics. Occasionally there'll be educational type stuff. So I've got a fun little thing here of 3 ways to feel amazing. So any educational stuff would be quite simple. It'd be, things like styling tips or some real quick confidence boosting tips, but it's mostly just uplifting quotes and then information about any kind of events as well. As you can see for these templates, I've made sure to use my logo in it, keep it branded. I've used all the brand colors. I've used a lot of the graphics that I created, as well as the background patterns that I've created. And just showing how all those brand elements that I created in that brand board. So by creating a nice variety here, it helps get me inspired when I need to create more content, more graphics. I can look at these and it will remind me how I want this brand to look and how I can be using different brand elements to create beautiful graphics. Then we have examples of photos. So far I've taken some photos that were basically while I was taking product shots. So I haven't had a chance to do more photos yet, but I've sort of shown the kind of style and feel I want those photos to have, and then I've written a list of other things that I want to be taking photos of. So I want to be doing some flat lays, some more editorial styled shots, some behind the scenes, things like making, packaging, the tools used, that sort of thing, lifestyle shots, and also some how-to hairstyles, so different ways that the product can be worn. So by giving me this list, it's sort of reminding me the kinds of things that I also want to be creating and working on, and it sort of creates a bit of a content rotation too, thinking, oh, have I done any of this particular type of image for a while? And then I'm showing the visual kind of feel to those images. So when you're working on branding your social media, don't feel like you have to create absolutely everything to start off with, because that is a lot. You're really just trying to set the tone and showing yourself, this is the direction, this is the feel that I want, this is what I want to be including, so that when you do go to create content and create those graphics and those images, you really have a clear idea about how you want it to look. And so then we have story templates. So I've created a series of story template backgrounds. So these are just a series of backgrounds that I can use for stories. So I could use them to put just text on top just to talk about something. I can share one of my posts and put the post on top. I can share just some images, whatever I want to share as a story where I want to have an on-brand background. These are some backgrounds I've got to choose from. So having plenty to choose from means I'm not trying to just make something up on the fly when I need to create something. I've got plenty of options there to keep it all on brand and keep it really beautiful. And then I started to create some story templates here. So basically what I've done is for these story templates is I've created a series of stories for my About Me section under those story highlights. So I've just gone through and created the slides for that, and also the freebie slide. So that just sets the tone for how story graphics should look. And then whenever I need to create a story graphic, I've got this as reference for the kind of feel and look I want. I can reuse some of these, so I could say, okay, I'll just put different text in this one, or I could create something new, but I've just got this as a base to inspire me for the direction and how I want it to look. Then we've got some reel cover templates. So I'll probably want quite a lot of variety with reel templates, but I wanted to get some going to start to create a feel and a direction and look for the kind of things that I want to create for those reel covers. So I've created a few templates here, and over time I might add to that, create more, because you'll want to keep things fresh with social media. So you will add more and more templates and more graphics and things over time, but you want to have something to get you started, and also something that's going to give you a feel for it, for how you want it to look. So when you are creating something new, that you can make sure it really aligns with everything else, and then you've got that brand consistency happening. So it's a really good idea just to get started and create some templates, some examples, and then if you want to create more things over time, you can refer to them. And then we've got GIF stickers. So I'm yet to animate these, and I'll share with you once I've got them animated and ready to go up. But first of all, I just wanted to create what I wanted for those stickers. So I'm using a lot of the illustrated graphics. I'm also thinking about, well, what am I going to use these for? So I might want a sticker, to say something's new or something's almost gone, or to share a reel, my on-brand phrases and words and things like that. And then I've got some little washi tape I can put when I'm pasting up different images or a post. And then I've got a fun pack with me for if I want to do a video showing me packing things. So I'm just trying to think about the kinds of things that, I might want to use stickers for, and how I can make my stories really fun and add that extra branding element, because it's one of those branding elements that can often be overlooked, is creating these stickers. And doing this can just really add that extra little branded touch. It really can make a great difference, and you're not scrambling either where you want to add some stickers to something and you're trying to search and look for something that's going to suit your brand. Instead, you've got something that's absolutely perfect for your brand because you've custom made it. Now, if you want to learn how to make your own gift stickers, I actually have a video on that, how to use Procreate to make your own gift stickers. So make sure you check out that video. It'll be above. Okay, so these are the final animated gift stickers. Just adding a bit of movement to them, and then we're putting them in Giphy, and then we can add them on stories. And they add just such a fun element to the branding. Now, other than all these visual things, some other branding things you want to consider when you're thinking about setting up your Instagram or whatever social media that you want to focus on is also about your brand voice and how you're going to be writing your captions, how that's actually going to sound, and making sure that you keep that on brand. Also, even thinking about things like what kind of emojis you use, so that you're creating sort of an on-brand emoji usage, which I know sounds a bit silly, but people will actually start to associate your brand with emojis if you're consistent in the ones that you're using. And then when it comes to creating videos and reels, considering the kind of audio you're going to be using. So what kind of audio is going to be appropriate for your brand? What feel is that audio going to have? What kind of music will you use and won't you use? What overall feel and tone is that music going to have? When you consider all those little details, you can really build a strong brand identity and make sure that it all aligns with your brand values and that brand feeling and vibe. Because otherwise, if you suddenly stray, like if you picked a song that's completely inappropriate for your brand, it just doesn't match everything else about your branding, then it's going to throw people off. Your brand is going to feel inauthentic, and it's just going to feel like you just chase whatever the latest trend is, and you're not really being true to your brand and true to who you are. And it confuses people, and You may even lose people over it. So it's really important to consider every little element so you're creating this really consistent brand overall.
So I hope you learned a lot from this and really inspired you about how you can actually approach social media from a branding perspective. And if you want to learn more about this, I actually have an ebook called Brandgram where it goes through all these different things so that you can really think about and learn how to brand your Instagram, how to consider every single element and work on it in a way that's going to suit your brand and create a branded platform that really attracts the right people. The focus of the ebook is also on empathic branding, so it's really focused on your audience. So because it's a social media platform, we really want to be focusing on our audience, making sure that we're connecting with them, considering their needs, and it's not just about showing off what you're doing and showing off your brand, but really making it focused on that audience, making sure you understand them, and that's that platform where you can really start to connect with them and get to know them and draw the right people in. So if you want to check that out, check the link in the description below, and I hope you learned a lot from this video. Next week, we're doing the final piece of creating this brand, and we're going to be working on visual marketing. So basically, we're going to be preparing for launch and creating all the visual elements needed to launch the brand. So I can't wait to see you then as we tie everything together and put those final touches together so we can launch this brand. And of course, if you want to learn more about branding, graphic design, and creativity, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.